Shalom Yasharala. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High by Shoma Mashiach Yahushai and Mashiach Yahushai. I was asked a question concerning 2019. As far as someone going into the Bible, looking at scriptures and doing a math calculation and coming up with 2019 would be the year of 400 years of oppression or being oppressed, and they went to the scripture, Genesis 15 and 13. As we know, we always start with Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai in the name of the Lord and Savior. So, all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior, going to the Most High. That's why we thank the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai in the name of the Lord and Savior, giving all praise and glory to His holy name, because He's worthy to be praised. This is His word. This is His word. So we go into Genesis 15 and 13. Let's look at what it's saying. It says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed, which is Abraham's seed, or his lineage, shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. See? 400 years. So they're counting from 1619, 400 years would be 2019, which is next year. I have a question concerning 1492. When they came here to the Western Hemisphere and took the land from the 9.5 tribes. If you believe that the 9.5 tribes are in this Western Hemisphere, we scattered among all nations, as my 12 tribe sign says, indigenous. That's what I'm talking about. They're scattered over here in the four corners of the earth, as it says. So, what about the Israelites that were slaughtered and the land was taken from them? That amounts to 1892. So you have to make a distinction in your calculation if you're going to deal with Judah, Benjamin, Levi, or you're going to deal with all 12 tribes. Because all 12 tribes are Abraham's seed. Because Abraham had a son named Isaac. Isaac had a son named Jacob, and Jacob became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So is it just talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi? Because that's basically what people are thinking and speaking on if you're saying 2019, point blank. Because you count from 1619, 400 years added to 1619 amounts to 2019, next year. Verse 14 says, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and after shall they come out with great substance. So, I just want to make something clear so that you understand what's most important. When the Mashiach Yahushai was on the earth, go to Matthew, the 24th chapter, in the 3rd verse. Because Just as you have inquiring minds trying to decipher when the end is going to be, when Israel going to get the kingdom again, we got next, forever and ever and ever. They asked the same thing in Matthew 24:3. And it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, by themselves, along with the Mashiach Yahushua, and they asked him this, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? See? So, this is during the time he came on the earth. In the flesh, mind you. So not only that, we have to look at 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, during the time of Ezra. The 6th chapter, the same thing was asked in the book of Ezra. 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, the world that we living in now, and the beginning of it that followeth. The world that's going to follow. This world that we in now. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born. And I said, we went to Genesis, Abraham, his seed going to be afflicted for 100 years in a land that's not theirs. And when they leave, they're going to leave with much substance. So it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, going all the way back to Genesis 25 and 25 of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. They were fighting in the womb. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So that's clear. Esau would have to be ruling at the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Why someone that don't understand, this is why the we got next that are pretty much started saying in the 90s come from. Daniel 7:18, the saints shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So now he's letting you know who will be ruling at the end of the world, Esau. So the superpower of the earth would have to be Esau at the end of the world. And Jacob was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, meaning the Israelites will rule next. So look what the Mashiach said to them, because he said a lot of things to prepare you for the end times. And know these things would happen in the end times in Matthew 24th chapter. You can read from verse 4 on down. But we're going to go right to the point in verse 36 when he said, but of that day and hour knoweth no man. So any man that's going to try and tell you the day, regardless. He said, of that day and hour knoweth no man. No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But my Father only. Not even Mashiach Yahushua knows. He said, but my Father only. See. Verse 42. He said, watch, therefore, for ye know not what hour your master does come. See? Verse 44. It says, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. See? So that's why we got to be in this work. We got to be finding some way to gather the children of Israel together. And not only that, go to Acts, the 1st chapter. Now, Mashiach Shai died, rose on the 3rd day through the power of the Most High, walked the earth for 40 days. Now they asked him a question. Mind you, he done died, rose on the 3rd day. He's there for 40 days. They said, wait a minute, now you back. So what did they ask him? To let you know that they knew this. Just like we know, in this day and time, a little more than what was previous to them, because Revelation wasn't written yet, as we read in Acts, the 1st chapter. You understand? So we have from Genesis all the way to Revelation. So there's really no excuse for any of us. Because we have the complete volume of the book to edify ourselves in knowing. And the prime example is what I'm going to read here in Acts 1 and 6. Now, mind you, my second side died. He rose on the 3rd day, walked the earth for 40 days, and they asked him this question. Acts 1 and 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Mashiach Yahushua, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? So let you know, for gainsayers out there that think the kingdom will be for everyone, why did he say restore the kingdom to everyone instead of restore the kingdom to Israel? Because they knew through the law and the prophets that the kingdom was going to come back to we the children of Israel. That's what we're working on right now. Keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, having faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, and having the fear of the Most High. They asked him, wilt thou at this time, then you back, you here, restore again the kingdom to Israel? Listen to what he said to them. For all you gainsayers out there looking at next year going to be the time, just what he said. And he said it to them. He already said it once. It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. They don't the Most High know. Mashiach Shai is on the right side of the Most High. Why you hear me say Krum, Abanawa Yahweh, Krum, our Father, Most High, and rise, Most High, and Krum of Mashiach Yahushua, rise of Mashiach Yahushua. Because it's going to be that order. I don't care how you look at it. The Most High rise up, tell the Mashiach Yahushua to rise up and do what? Go and judge and make war and bring righteousness back on this earth. Then Israel going to rise up. How long? Forever and ever and ever. Through the power of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. And the angels that's right here on this earth. And 200 meters he's coming with. Woo! What you going to do with that? Doesn't but say hallelujah, 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 hallelujah to the Most High. He going to get the glory. And after Mashiach Yahushua rule for 1,000 years, and the Most High going to be all in all. He ain't going to be no La Nina, no Mother Nature, no El Nino, no global warming or anything else you could say or call a name. That's him. He going to be recognized finally. People going to fear him. By the time the Mashiach Yahushua come and judge and make war, oh yeah, you ain't got to, that's why he said watch. You got to know what to watch for. You got to really take this serious. I'm just talking about the word of the Most High. Because everybody want to make a prediction of this, that, and the third. No. Better hear what the word of the Most High is saying. He just said, only the Most High know. He don't even know himself. Well, Mashiach Yahushua don't even know himself. He's not stepping over protocol. Most High got a protocol. That's why he said, and go to 1 Corinthians 14. He said in verse 40, he said, let all things be done decently and in order. Let's see. Everything got to be done decently and in order. That's how the Most High operates. So let nobody fool you, and don't look at we gotta be in the work. We gotta be doing something in this work, so your name can be written in the book of life, people. That's what it's all about. No more, no less. Because I mean, the prophecies of the things that are to happen have not happened. They have not happened yet. Once you see things start to happen as it is written, then you say, okay, well, we're getting closer. And closer to the time of the end. But until then, you know, everybody, I mean, they had a saying, 2000 was going to happen. Brother was bugging out. It didn't happen. Some people lost their mind. Went crazy. I remember asking the question in class, how long before 2000? They would count down to the day and the hour and everything for what time it was. And I would read these scriptures that you just heard. Only the Most High know. At the same time, after 2000, a few months later, I said, raise your hand if you thought the end was going to happen on January 1st, or Esau's first month, Salakia, the first day, 2000. And hands went up. After going over this over and over and over and over again, what you just heard. Scriptures, in the scriptures. And the hands went up. So, that's Israel. People can say they're in the spirit, they believe this way or that, they're in the truth, but they're not in the truth. The truth is what I just read to you. Now, if you can find some entity more powerful than the Most High, in the Mashiach Yahushai, I like to hear it. Because there's nothing more powerful than what Mashiach Yahushai is telling us concerning the only one that knows is the Most High. I don't know. I don't know where people getting off still trying to calculate when the end's going to be, deceiving people. But those that's going to be deceived need to be deceived. Those that's not going to be deceived, not going to be deceived. Look at Zechariah 14. Verse 1. Zechariah 14 and 1. Behold, the day of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, cometh, and thy spoils shall be divided in the midst of thee. What we're going to get going to be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses raffled, and the women ravished. I mean, the women going to be raped. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity. The residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Most High Mashiach go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. So that's our power. I mean, you're looking at, you can write down 2 Ezra 15 and 14 to 19. That's racial wars. That's martial law in the cities and so forth. Ezekiel 38, the nation going to join together with Russia and the other nations. The Most High going to put hooks in their jaws to guide them in the direction that they're going to go for, to fulfill His will. Nobody stopped this. And in the end, Zechariah 14:13. That's why everybody going to be subject to Israel. It shall come to pass in that day that a great turmoil from the Most High shall be among them. They shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. See? And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together. That's why I say we're going to leave with great substance, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. Verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, fought against the children of Israel. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. Nuclear destruction. That's all we can look at this time, like that woman that was on this fence, and she just disintegrated. In that movie, The Terminator. I believe that's the name of it. So that's the result of what's going to happen. So I mean, you know, it's we got to be doing the work, and that brings me to what I want to go into, and what we have to do so that when the books are open, we've done enough to please the Most High that our names to be written in the book of life. That's what it's all about. Now go to 1 Corinthians 12 and 1.